times in the game that Southern Arkansas played harder than us. I thought they competed a little bit better at us for parts of the game. And, I got to congratulate them. It reminds me of the Henderson State team last year. Came in and got after us pretty good. And we'll face the same thing Tuesday night. Two things that disappointed me. We had our moments. We came out second half and played better, and they didn't score for 8 minutes, and we had our moments. We scored in spurts, which we need to score more consistently. We had some defensive moments that were pretty good, but for the most part, the two things that I've wanted this team to do, we didn't show up at all tonight. Our opponent field goal stat was 50% for the game, which is unacceptable for us to have a chance to beat teams of quality and teams that we're going to face. The second statistic is we had 18 turnovers, which we can't do. If this team has any envisions itself of being something significant, you can't give up 50% to that team in your own building and then have 18 turnovers, which probably 14 of them were careless. And those are two things we've been focusing on, and it didn't show up in the game tonight, and that's disappointing for me. But we did have our moments on both ends of the floor. But that's why we got about 9 more workouts before we take it on the road Saturday. That right there can't beat Dayton on the road. Anybody knows that. But I'm glad we got it on tape. I'm glad we're going to be able to see it and players watch it and let them accept the responsibility individually for getting better. And we'll go Saturday. We have to take off tomorrow, the NCAA requirement day. Then we'll go Saturday, go twice Sunday. We'll go Monday and hopefully put a better team defensively on the floor Tuesday night. 83 points is fine. I'll take 83 the rest of the year. We'll win 20 games. But I don't like the way it was on the other end, and we need to correct that and get better with it.
Any questions?
Talk about Ed Townsend.
But would he let his man drive by him and lay it in, or what do you want?
The points he scored.
What do you want the threes he made? Ed, Marcus Hooten did not play as many minutes as he would have liked because he couldn't keep the ball in front of him. That's why he said. I want to get Hooten, which he will because he did it a year ago, stable in there in that position. And Ed Townsend coming off the bench can give us something that nobody else on our team can. And plus he started guarding pretty good too. He puts good pressure on the ball and he kept the ball. He made one mistake where the guy went by him, but overall defensively he and Rakeem Dickerson kind of bothered those guys a little bit. But Ed, Ed can score. He can score it in bunches. He can score it quickly, and he's going to have those nights. And he and Trey both. I think Trey missed a couple there the second half because he got a little winded, a little tired maybe. But Ed's going to give us something that nobody else on our team can. And I want to get him off the bench, and he's accepted that role, and I'm proud of him for doing that. It didn't seem to bother him. He came in the game, gave us a spark on both ends of the floor. And if we can develop that in him this year, it's like another starter coming in the game. And I'm glad he's where he is, and he's got this year and another year. So, we're counting on Ed. I tease him all the time, and I tell him Ed Townsend is the key to this team because of his acceptance of his role. And he's done fine, hadn't said anything to me about it, and knew he made a mistake defensively. And he also had 7 rebounds tonight. Looked like he was our leading rebounder. So he did a lot of good things tonight, and we just need 2 or 3 other players to play a little bit better, and they will. But this was a good game for us. We got it on tape. We'll go back and look at it and get better from it.
You evaluate Trey Finn's performance after being gone.
Well, I thought Trey was not very good defensively. I thought guys drove by him. I thought they got their shoulders by him and got him in the paint a couple, 3 times, and he needs to be better defensively. Offensively, Trey's fine. I mean, he scored, he drive it. Usually he rebounds it better, but he didn't have a lot of opportunities, it seems. But we've wanted to get Trey more shots. He definitely got 15 shots tonight, most of anyone on the team. That was one of our emphasis this year going in. But I thought all of our guys, for the most part, weren't as good defensively as I need them to be. And that's something we're going to try to correct between now and Tuesday.
What about your freshman point guard, Coach? First action for him in Division I.
I thought it was okay. You know, I took him out at the last because we have a 15-point lead, and he shoots a 25-footer with 18 seconds on the shot clock. You got to know how to win and close, and that's not really the best shot. We can shoot that shot with 5 seconds left on the shot clock. So there's going to be some growing pains, some teaching with him. And he looked like a Mexican jumping bean out there. He was all over the place. So, you know, it happens. You know, he'll settle down and eventually figure it out, and that's what we got to coach him and teach him and bring him along.
Kendrick talked about getting back out and playing tonight. He said he felt fine. He was coming off a little nagging injury. He said he hadn't
He turned his
practiced.
ankle and he missed the practice. But, you know, I'm not too disappointed in him. He hadn't played in a year, and then he was in pain last year and sometimes didn't practice. And then he had the rods taken out, and so he's had to come back from all of that. He's had a lot of things thrown at him. But I think he'll be fine as we move along. I thought he played a little better defensively the second half. We need to rebound the ball better. We need to be tougher around the goal in terms of rebounding it, and we need to defend better. Those are the two things, and take better care of the ball. Those three things right there, which you know I've always kind of put my hat on. Those are the three things we weren't very good at tonight. We scored the ball, made some shots, drove the ball, made some pretty good passes. The field goal stat, rebounding was okay, it needs to be better, and our turnovers, those three areas need to improve for us to beat, you know, teams that we need to beat, and if we want to be the kind of team we want to be.
The first 8 or 9 minutes of the second half, was that the team you want this team to be?
Yeah, it was better. We played better, but we don't have spurts, we need to be consistent in that. We need to expand that 7 or 8 minutes to 25, 30 minutes, you know, and then you got a chance to beat some good teams. But you know, the field goal stat really, you know, bothers me, and we really need to get that under control and get that lower. Just to miss shots, make them miss shots, and go back and rebound it. And we didn't do that as well. We did it in spurts, but we need to do it more consistently throughout the game.
Any other questions?